Well, here I am at home. I'm home alone, and everybody's either at school or at work, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the quilting on your Ring of Kerry Block of the Month quilt. This is my fourth take, so hopefully this is the one. Hopefully by now you'll have all got your quilts together and you're wondering how to go about quilting it. I'm just going to run through how I quilted mine, and then I have another one hiding under here. That's a customer quilt. I'll tell you about that afterwards. But first of all, I'm going to show you a bit of quilting on mine, and then I'll tell you how I went about quilting the one underneath. Everybody's quilting will be slightly different because your blocks will be different. It may require slightly different treatment. You can stitch it on your domestic machine if you can free motion. If you can't, just use straight lines, just go back and over, that will be fine too. If you have a long arm machine, then you can get creative with this. Or if you're a hand quilter, well, I think, wow, it would look great hand quilted. So I'm going to leave it up to you to decide what sort of quilting you want to do, but I'm going to talk you a little bit through each block. Okay, so here's the puffin. You see a little bit of swirls in the back. Bit of stitching on the breast of the puffin just to give a bit of texture. I didn't do very much quilting on the rocks because it didn't really need it. It just wanted to hold it down. And this piece here, just here, I left this with no quilting. Just, you know, it's nice not to have every piece quilted. Okay, this is the nighttime, the dark skies block. So the organza was laid across the bottom, and the block looks nothing until you quilt it. So you can see again I've used my swirls and some sort of curvy, swirly stitches in the top. And then on the bottom I've changed the colour thread, and I think I've got two different colours on top of the organza, light blue and a dark blue, and then I've stitched in the reflection of the moon afterwards with a white thread. I just think it's so effective when it's quilted. Okay, here's the Kells Bay. Again, just, just go back and over. This is on the organza again. It just gives a great effect when you put quilting over the organza. And then you can see some of these areas I've cut it away afterwards. I've pulled some of the organza out just to give it a bit of texture. I left the pier with no quilting. And then I've just done some very basic quilting on the sky and the mountains on that one because this block, it was the water really, that was the feature. Now I still have to come back and stitch in my little ropes and things like that. Shame on me, still haven't done it, but one day I'll get round to it. But I'm going to end that with hand stitching. That's why it's not done, because time is precious. So here we go on to the next block. I'll just lift it up a bit here so you can see it. Again, a bit of stitching on the mountains. Think about what you're quilting. The mountains, you're going with the flow. There's sort of texture lines on the mountain. If you look out on the mountains here, there's sort of, sweeping lines. Could have water running down. This was actually quite simply quilted. I'm going to go in here. Just the water. The quilting's more fluid. This section of green is not quilted. Again, I don't like to quilt every bit. Okay, and then the zigzag was done on this before, and then it was quilted. The lines are just straight up and down lines on that one. It's quite effective. I really like that block. Then this is the Rolling Hills of Cahadaniel. Again, just go close up so you can see. This sort of block sort of speaks for itself, so it doesn't need much quilting. So I've just got in and around the sheep. Okay, now this one you need to give it a little bit more treatment. It's Quilting ROK, so I've got the swirly sky in the back to add a bit of drama. Change the colour thread, and the water, when you're quilting water in a big piece like that, you want to do it quite fluid, so back and over and back and over, and don't make the lines too wavy, sort of keep them flowing. Just going to go in here so you can see. So again, I've used different colour threads on that. Now here we go over to the bridge. I didn't actually do any quilting on this bridge. The water's flowing, so you can see the quilting actually looks like, especially this bit around the bridge, it's the water swirling there around the post. And again, I've cut away little bits of organza there that are in the foreground, just to give it the effect of sort of reflection on water. Okay, so just a simple quilting then in the corners, and you just want to sort of enhance the blocks really. I have to come over here now. So this is the Lakes of Killarney. You can see there's very little quilting on this. It's just simple, like the block, nice and simple. Oh, now this, look at the sheep. We've put texture on him with 2 different, maybe 3 different colours. And I think it looks really cool. Simple quilting on the grass and the sky. Okay, I'm just going to pause this 1 second to move the quilt down.